Do you have any message for anyone?
Brian Hooker was silent as he left a Bahamian police station Monday night.
Anything at all to say, Brian?
Hooker was arrested Wednesday and questioned in the disappearance of his wife Lynette, who he reported missing at sea in early April. Hooker's denied any wrongdoing and was released without charges as the investigation and search continues.
I am happy to see that justice is really working in this country, right? They had no evidence and they had no choice but to release him.
Married for 25 years and experienced sailors, the Michigan couple shared their travels on social media. Hooker told investigators on April 4th he and his wife were in a small boat returning to their yacht when rough waters caused Lynette to fall overboard, and strong currents carried her away. When he made it back to shore, Hooker alerted police and an urgent search started. Lynette's daughter has raised allegations of a turbulent marriage and called for a full investigation.
Like, why wouldn't he drop anchor and look for her? Why did he paddle the other way? Just doesn't make sense.
After days of searching, Hooker was arrested for questioning. A U.S. Coast Guard criminal investigation was also opened. Following his release, Hooker maintains his innocence and says he hasn't given up hope on finding his wife.
I won't be able to stop looking.
You want to keep looking for Lynette?
I'm going to need somebody with more authority to tell me to stop.
Coming out of Kuwait, Ahmed Shahab al-Din is well known to many of us, a journalist who has written for HuffPost, made films for the BBC, for Al Jazeera, for Vice News. He's also well known for his passionate advocacy and activism around the Palestinian cause. He has a huge following on social media. From what we understand, he went to visit his family in Kuwait at the beginning of the war and has not been seen in public and also has not posted anything online since March 2nd. So that is now 6 weeks. Now, if you look at some of his recent posts, and I should add that his X account and his Instagram account have been taken down, but if you look at his Substack, it appears the thing he shared most recently before his arrest was, ironically, a video verified and put out by CNN that showed a U.S. fighter jet as it was downed by friendly fire in Kuwait. He didn't offer any commentary. There was nothing incendiary explosive about posting this CNN clip. But what this speaks to are these kind of draconian security restrictions that we have seen here in the Gulf. Since this war began, hundreds of people have been arrested. Strict laws have been introduced about filming things, showing intercepts, things of that nature, because of all of the security concerns in the Gulf. But the CPJ, the Committee to Protect Journalists, is saying that some of this is really just an excuse to round up people who they think potentially are dissenting voices, although I should say we have absolutely no record of Ahmed speaking out against Kuwait in any way, shape, or form. It does appear that he was just there to visit his family. He now faces charges potentially of spreading false information, harming national security, and misusing his mobile phone, which could be very serious indeed. Again, the CPJ calling these charges vague and overly broad accusations that are routinely used to silence independent journalists. And the CPJ and all of Ahmed's friends and journalists are calling Kuwait to release him.
Para regularizar su situación tendrán que cumplir estos requisitos.
Encontrarse en nuestro país antes del 1 de enero del 2026, haber permanecido en España al menos 5 meses ininterrumpidos en el momento de la solicitud, carecer de antecedentes penales y no suponer una amenaza para el orden o la seguridad pública.
Ayuda a las personas de otros países a que se puedan integrar a la sociedad aquí también.
Bien por la mayoría de nosotros que hemos estado aquí sin papeles, evidentemente luchando.
Si se le da la oportunidad a todos los emigrantes a poder trabajar.
Solicitantes de asilo y cualquier persona que demuestre su situación de irregularidad administrativa mediante un certificado de vulnerabilidad que lo van a hacer las entidades colaboradoras podrá acogerse.
El documento que acredita que no existen antecedentes penales es el más complejo de conseguir. El Estado no descarta solicitarlo por la vía diplomática.
La gente que ha estado invisibilizada pues va a tener una documentación que permita que puedan trabajar, pagar impuestos y contribuir con el sostenimiento.
Este jueves se podrá solicitar la cita telemática y en una semana podrán hacerlo ya de forma presencial. El proceso estará abierto hasta el 30 de junio de este año.